Thanks for staying with us. So we had a story that caught our attention. The telecommunications companies are proposing a 40% increase in the cost of calls and data to the NCC. And they're saying this is because of the rising cost of running a business in the nation. This was important because we also heard of so many other companies who had decided to shut down as a result of this same operational costs. This is an important conversation because there might be more people, more relevant sectors to Nigerians that might be considering this increase. And it's important that we discuss and remind our leaders of the impact of the economic effects on Nigerians. You can join the conversation 081-270-53687, 091-390-7694. You can also tweet to us on TVC Connect. Please hashtag your TVC so we can read your tweet. All right, let me start with you. Yeah, go ahead.
So I've taken this story when we saw that leap in the price of diesel. The information came through from they came through the telcos that they are not increasing prices yet because they are watching how things go, but they are heavily impacted by this because we all know all the base stations, and the base stations are where the satellites are, where the conversation connects. Without those base stations, you can't make phone calls. So these base stations are powered 24/7 with generators, and the generators run on diesel. Obviously, the cost has changed. And at the time, they were like watching how things would go. And now it's a few months down the line, the Association of Licensed Telecommunications Operators have now written officially to NCC to explain why the price needs to go up by 40%.
Yes.
Now, the average Nigerian is going to be complaining about another extra cost.
Yeah.
Compounding on all the other expensive things that they are going through. But this is the reality of ground. The cost of doing business has gone up. Bread is more expensive because diesel is powering everything. And our politicians are busy negotiating who will become the next president, paying 100 million form immediately. People are contributing, but businesses are dying. Let's focus on what
we're going to something.
I mean, when you see these rates, what can we do? It's our reality. That's the reality on ground. And with the licensed telecom operators, I think one of their problems that they have, one of it is with Kogi State. I remember they were complaining seriously that the government had sort of shut them down. And the government was saying that there are some levies and taxes that these operators were meant to pay, but they were not doing that. And they were suggesting, that's the licensed operators, that they were going to do what they call like a hostile tariff for those areas that were hostile towards their business. I did not think it was going to extend to the whole of Nigeria. So we're like, you know, in my mind, I was like, well, it's them that are hostile to them. But the truth is that this is the reality on ground. We have bank branches that have closed down, actually. A lot of them would not use the word operational cost. They will say that they are moving to technology, and that is like the easier, more economic way to go about it. And the truth is that we'll have to adjust. We have to adjust either in our consumption or making more money to pay for this. Government, I know, like with the digital satellite television, they tried to step in to tell them to stall on increasing their tariffs for a while. But really, the realities on ground is that they would have to budge, whether
that's
like
true.
it or not.
The cable TV also tried to review, but the government told them to stop. But I don't think they have the power to tell them to review. So they're asking them to review for now. But so what the telecoms are saying is that there will be the floor calls will increase from 4 naira, from actually it's currently 6 naira 6 naira 40 kobo to 8 naira 95 kobo, while the prices of SMS will increase from 4 naira to 5 naira 61 kobo. Now, so that might sound like really small, but it's actually not. It's actually it adds up because 40% is not a joke.
So if you used to call your mother for 30 minutes, you now be thinking about calling her for like 5 minutes. Yes, everything has to reduce. My fear is when things go up in this country, it never comes down. We don't ever get to a point where the price was so, and now everybody's jubilating that, thank God, oh, the price has come down. No, we never get to that point. Secondly, the people themselves do not have the purchasing power to meet up to all these increments. And you will not blame these businesses. I run a business and it is biting everybody. Like, I haven't even had the mind to advertise for anything because I just feel there's no money anywhere. What am I wasting my data posting pictures up and down? If you ask me, I'll tell you I have or I don't have, you know, because when you're running a business, you run a business for profit. And when it no longer becomes profitable, you need to start readjusting, finding out how do I cut down this cost, how do I increase this so that I don't run out of business. Unfortunately, most people are already running out of business in the country. My appeal will be to the government. It seems like there is no plan to give us any form of hope. There is no plan. Everybody's focus now, like Dr. said, is on the elections that are coming up. And with all these increments, what do you expect Nigerians to do? Some of us have jobs. I wouldn't say good jobs. Some of us have jobs that we're able to at least meet up to some certain needs. What about people around us who do not even have any form of hope? How do we expect them to survive? This is the time the government should give us a form of hope. This is what we are doing. This is what we are doing. Give us a few months. You will see these results. But nobody's having that conversation right now. The focus is on who is going to be president.
Yeah, I mean, so we all know that there's a lot of global impact on this. It's not just a local problem. Yeah. This is many countries across the world are inflation, are having issues with the economy, with recession, inflation, with the Ukraine and Russia crisis. So it has all morphed into what we're seeing right now. But as you said, yes, we're all in this, but there's got to be some kind of roadmap to, okay, how do we get ourselves out of this? Because as you said, businesses are dying, and many people that cannot survive this increase. They're saying that the telcos are saying specifically here that the energy costs increase their operation expense to 35%. So they also having their costs have increased to 35%. So for them to even increase to 40%, it's only 5% extra that they're really getting, according to this article. You know? So
I was going to take the story from the fertilizers, importing fertilizer into Nigeria, saying they usually get their fertilizers from Russia, Ukraine. And now they're having to change where the fertilizers will be coming in from. We are an import-dependent country. So any little change would have huge impact. The importation of food, importation of power is sustained by importation, and so businesses are grumbling. Now, for me, the difficult part is, even though this happens around the world, if you watch the international news, even they too, they are complaining. Yes, oh, the price of everything has gone up. But in their case, immediately the crisis dies down a little bit, the prices would go down. You would see the metrics would change. It might not go as far down as it was before, but there's always a difference. Here we don't have. Number one. Number two is the attitude of governments towards what is happening. It's as if they're not saying it. It's so bad on Instagram. It's like every influencer is complaining about the price of chicken, the price of bread. Everybody is groaning, and our politicians are not addressing the issue. So while I know that there is going to be election in 2023, it is also important that we have a country in 2023.
Right after the election.
Yes. And it's important that everybody don't just throw their hats into the ring to the detriment of the governance that should take place. Because the conversation right now is that everybody wants to contest. They are getting the forms, they are talking about campaign, posters are everywhere, but the people who are going to vote for you are hungry. They cannot eat 2 square meals, not even 3 square meals. And that needs to be addressed. So for me, it is to hear from the vice president, because this is a part of the economy. Yeah. And he should give us a roadmap. We need hope. And hope can only come when we see action. It's conversation.
So for me, you know, I hear us, we're saying everybody's talking about the election. The truth is, as you said, the country must go on. So there's election coming 2023. People have to prepare for that. And I know that, yes, it's a global problem, but what has happened to Nigeria is that it's compounded by just many years of inefficiencies. So the truth right now would be how regular Nigerians need to find a way to survive in these times. And a lot of people will go the way of, you know, lower consumption. We heard the World Bank report where it's saying that many people are taking really dangerous ways to, you know, survive during this time. And where people are refusing to even eat because they're trying to, you know, survive.
Let me pause you on that, Mary, because I really like that point. Let's stay on that when we come back. How do we help Nigeria? What kind of suggestions can we give to them to survive this phase? Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So we have discussed the hard stuff, which is what people are doing because businesses are shutting down. Some are reducing their costs. I mean, they're increasing their costs and all that. But how do we adjust? And that's what we're going to be focusing on. Mariam was trying to touch on that earlier. What can we do as a people begin to do to adjust our numbers within the house to be able to have a better, happier family?
One of the first things for those who have been able to afford luxury is that maybe luxury will either be cut down or completely put aside for a period. But the reason why I wanted to talk this way is because I remember when I was growing up, my grandma used to do what they call like these contributions. But they'll do contributions like, you know, people in the same compound, people in the community put some money together, and then maybe at the end of the month you're able to buy food, and then you share it amongst yourself. If you're the only one going with your small coins to the market, it will be more expensive for you and you may not get enough. But if you're able to do it as a community, so I'm thinking that, you know, right now, let's look at community empowerment of each other. How do we put our monies together in small, small things for the house, you know?
So, for example, maybe like Tokwe's PA now can be our collector. So all of us put maybe 5K or 10K. At the end of the month, how much do we have at the purse? Okay, let's go and buy Gary.
Bag of rice.
And your bag of rice, and they share.
Especially as people
I like
are not
that.
eating. Of course, we cannot take away government's responsibility of providing for the very poor, you know, food, somewhere where they can go to get food. But for the rest of us who can, let's try and see how we can.
Let me take this call and I'll come to PC. Good morning, are you there?
Yeah, I'm there.
You're live. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, I'm a first-time caller.
Welcome to the show, Nuruddin.
Yeah. Thank you. Good morning. I mean, I've been trying for so long to call you. My mom is a fan of yours, and she's like, she wakes me very early in the morning to tell me when to call you guys.
Oh, thank you.
How about you? Are you a fan of ours?
Yeah. I am.
Okay.
Thanks for admitting.
So I'm so much in love with Antonia, Sanema, Yenny. My mom loves her so much, and you, of course, I understand everything you're doing, you are okay with it. But I wanted to discuss on the previous show, a previous discussion we had before. It was on the Loma stuff. We have a complaint too here in Shasha, especially at Boundary Road. Though you are not too familiar with the place, but these Loma people, they are like, that's what we complain of. So we need a solution to that.
Okay,
and
so
we'll
inform the MD. So Shasha, we'll pass that information to him so he knows that also. Yes, PC, how can we tighten our belts?
Yesterday, my son yabbed me. I said, Mommy, when we're in our former house, this is your timetable. When you say fries and chicken, we used to have chicken. Now you just give us fries and tell us to take ketchup. I just kept quiet, I did not hear him because he doesn't understand what we are going through. And one of the ways I had to cut down, because I just changed my help. Before, there used to be a lot of wastage. So we're just a few in the house. You want to boil rice, we boil 3 derica because you are seeing the bag of rice there. So yesterday I went into the kitchen and I had instructed my help after giving them, giving them the guidelines when they came in to boil rice for the family. And I just realized that this rice is how many derica? I say 1 derica. I say for the whole house. To have enough. I know that I said we should not waste, but at least measure it in such a way that we can still.
You know, when I came to Bisi's house, that you gave me this rice, palm oil rice that has crayfish. For every spoon I was tasting crayfish. And I asked, like, how much are you buying crayfish? Because me, in my own house, we reduce crayfish, we ration crayfish. I was picking every spoon with crayfish. And I had to ask, like, Auntie,
is this how you cook
in this house?
Yeah, so that's how we used to cook, but not anymore, because everybody has to readjust. And also, let's pay attention to people around us. A lot of people do not have food to eat, and shame will not let them tell you. So instead of wasting all those things, you can find a way to gather them and just help. As you see the need, help people that are
Let me take this call from Ade from London. Good morning, Ade. Are you there?
Good morning, Mara.
You are not rationing in London now.
This morning.
Go ahead.
You ration more.
Because you normally cut off the line. Now, my point is this. First of all, you promised us early this year that you are going to invite someone from Central Bank to discuss why we should be bringing 2 people before we open an account. You forgot totally about it. That's number 1. Number 2, about the price of telecom. It should be 10%, not 40%. I'm sure the government should fight for the common people. Otherwise, everything is expensive. Even in England here, everything is changed. Everything is expensive. Our energy bill, my energy bill is gone up by £1,600 increase. So you can imagine, so everybody is prepared for it. But in Nigeria, you know, when they want to increase, they increase by 100%, whatever percent. Very soon they will increase bright prices.
Ade, telcos said specifically that their costs had increased by 35%. As you're a businessman and your costs, diesel, all the other base stations, all that increases by 35%. Would you therefore, how would you therefore pay for those things? You can't survive as a businessman, don't you think?
Of course, I agree with that. I agree with you.
Okay.
It's not because everything is expensive in Nigeria. We are feeling the impact here as well. So that's what I'm saying. Please don't forget about the central bank issue.
Yes, my producer has heard you and he'll put that in play. Thank you so much, very much for reminding us. All right, so, I mean, in my own house, you know, I have a house full of 10 people and they all eat well.
I wonder how you cope.
Whenever
I feel like my food is, my food bill is high, I just think of Muriah.
Well, we are surviving. You know, so I have to really call the musical guys.
Family meeting.
Because my husband recently went to go and buy palm oil, you know. Okay. So, and there was plenty of palm oil, you know, this big keg, like I think it's 50 liters or 30 liters. So from one of his friends she sells palm oil to her. Very fantastic palm oil. So my help now put them in small kegs. Okay. Usually when we have like that, I just call the people, I just distribute to my neighbors. So she was about to start distributing. I said, Auntie, don't distribute anything. This thing will use it. My dear, for me, sister. I'm not giving I'm not giving anybody. Leave it here. Just let me see them like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just keep it like that. Because listen, we all have to just understand that times are different. Yeah. We have to manage our resources. It's the reality of the times. But what I think Nigerians would like to see, as we are tightening our belts, we'd like to see our leaders do the same thing.
Yes, so we have always said that.
The thing with everybody knowing that life has changed, it has really, really changed. You can't go to the market and achieve the same thing, even with double the price. That's the truth. Yeah. And when we acknowledge that, we realize that, one, we need to everybody now needs to find other source of income. You cannot depend, because the companies can't increase. I can't increase salary at the rate of inflation. I cannot. And many companies cannot. And many of us, our salaries haven't increased in comparison to the expenses. Yeah. But what we've had to do, and what I will say I've had to do, is to find other source of income. So I channel my skills. I speak, is to find how I can earn from my speaking, how I can earn from real estate, how I can earn. So I do a little. I
saw that Ewabella is back.
Ewabella has been working.
Okay.
Yes. But, you know, and I just shared. She was saying I should share it. I don't share anymore. So I can earn from here, I can earn from here, I can earn from here. We must make a list of, and ensure that there's no time. So I must increase productivity across, because life is not waiting for me.
Ordinary bread, BC. I mean, were we not here where bread was 250 naira?
No,
it's 550 now.
Yeah, Muriah, bread is almost 1,000, and my children can finish in my 2 loaves one day. Like, my kids love bread.
As I'm entering the house, and there's bread in the bag.
That's it.
They dive in. Before they end, like, they finish the bread. One. Now, I usually buy, like, I used to buy 4 loaves. I reduced it to 3 loaves. You see, now, I was trying to reduce it to 2, but I know I can't reduce it to 2 because they don't get anywhere.
So for me, I believe that the conversation, yes, we will cut costs, but really, for how long? We need to increase our capacity. We need to increase our earning. We need to think creatively. Yeah. Not through stealing, not through corruption, not through cheating anybody.
Yeah. Let me take this call and I'll come to
problems we can solve.
Johnson from Kaduna, are you there?
I'm there. Good morning.
You're live. Go ahead, please.
Okay. Antitope, good morning. I like the angle you are looking at this about the bread issue. For us in Kaduna, what is very unique is this: the quality of the bread itself. The quality of the bread itself.
The quality of the bread.
The quality, honestly, what you used to buy before 200, 300 naira, now you buy a date of 500. And at that, in fact, my 2-year-old, bread, on the quality. Now, my 7-year-old boy can sit down and finish 2 loaves. What we used to buy 300, that 3 people will consume and at time will not finish. My 7-year-old son will sit down, can sit down and finish 2 loaves of the same size now because of the quality. I visited a friend of mine, surprisingly, in the morning, and I saw the way they were doing, and I asked him, Uncle, what happened? He dragged me outside, and he said, now he has adopted his style, that at times he will just tell them, today we are fasting. So they will fast from morning till afternoon. They will skip breakfast. Then they will look for something in the afternoon, and that is how pathetic it is. My children are in the village to this holiday to visit her grandparents.
Wow.
I said, you think I don't know why you send your children home to feed them? I said, no, not because of this. He said,
Thank you for just sharing your story, Johnson. Yes.
That our parents used to use this trick back in the day, this fasting trick. They would just say, on so and so days, we are fasting, you're not eating till 2 p.m. And then we'll be grumbling. And when I got older, I realized that it was a way to just, because the food was not enough, just ration it in such a way that you'll still get something. There's no law that says we must eat 3 times a day, honestly.
Exactly.
When it comes to even being healthy, you're not required to eat.
I stopped that 1 year ago.
Yeah,
I think I announced it this way.
So let me just land it. You're not even required to eat 3 times a day. And I started doing that because I realized that my kids will go to school, they'll eat breakfast, they'll go to school, they'll eat lunch, they have snacks money, they come back, they'll eat in the afternoon, and in the evening, by 8 p.m., they're asking me for food. So I said, no, we can't keep running like this. So you eat breakfast, you go to school, you have school lunch.
Yes.
That's your lunch. When you get home, because they go by the bus, they get home around 4:35. You eat your dinner by 6, and that's it. The only thing you can have extra is maybe there's fruits in the house. You can have 1 apple or not. And it was also a way to see that I reduced the ration that they were having. As a way
I
of
did
just,
that years
just
ago.
find a way to,
No, so only twice a day I eat.
So that's a very important point. But also, let us remember that when in tough times, it's not usually about the quality, the quantity is the quality of the food. We are talking of nutritionally dense meals. So what a lot of people may not get to have now is meat, chicken, eggs. Children that need this for their developing body would not get that. And that's where the real issue is. And there used to be a time in Nigeria, I think a long time ago, where we used to have children that would look really malnourished, you know, because of lack of food. So the truth is we need to find ways to introduce these nutritionally dense meals, but, you know, keep it, but those ones tend to be very expensive. So keep it, if you can have that maybe once a day. Where you cannot buy chicken, can you buy eggs? Everyone is complaining about the cost of eggs right now. The crate of eggs.
Crate has finished though. Were we not in this Lagos when crate was 700 naira? We moved to 800.
So there used to be a time where they'll say, if you cannot eat meat, eat egg. But right now
egg is equally expensive. Let me take this call from Germany. Mike from Germany, are you there? Hello, Mike, you're live. Go ahead, please.
Good morning, Mariah.
Good morning.
I mean, I'm excited to talk to you guys. This is my first time calling.
Welcome to the show, Michael, from Germany.
Yeah, I listen to you guys virtually every day at work. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
I mean, you guys are doing a great job, and I pray that you guys will continue to move from down to bad and from strength to strength.
Thank you.
So I would like to contribute with regards to the increase in the amount for phone call reviews and everything. I think I could understand, because here, even in Germany, like one of your callers are called from London, my rent bill has gone up. My energy bill has also gone up.
In Germany?
Exactly, there's inflation everywhere. My sister, the salary has not gone up. It's only the bills and the stuff that is going up. So I believe the telco companies, they have no choice, because you have to consider the staff they are paying.
Right.
You have to consider the cost of doing business too for them. And like you all know, some of you guys on the show, you are entrepreneurs and you have people in place. So, I don't know. We pray that.
Thank you so much, Michael. Yeah, let's take a few tweets.
Yes, so we have Festus Akimboyewa. He says, instead of blaming the government running a country that's broke to the bone marrow, let us learn to help the less privileged people. In the UK, the cost of living is the worst in 30 years, but organizations and private individuals are setting up food banks to help. That's true. Andrew Stratum says, solution to the telecoms issue, import Starlinks into Nigeria from Elon Musk and undercut the ones we already have right here. Immaculate Boy is trying to explain to Morayo. He says, base station operation cost is up by 35%. Does not mean that each customer gets a 40% increase in cost. A base station powered by 100 liters of diesel services about 500 to 700 lines per minute. So do the math. He's thinking that they're overcharging us still.
Yeah. So I wanted to add to what you said earlier about, children having the need to eat proteins, meat, fish, eggs, for them to, grow healthy, and most of them will not have access to it anymore. We need to start looking at substitutes. There are plant-based proteins that are equally very good. They give you even more than the meat.
Expensive?
No, they are not. You can make it at home. Tofu. I remember when I was a vegetarian for a few months, I was
I like the way she said that.
I was eating tofu, and it was very healthy. In fact, my skin could tell the difference. This meat that we're eating,
cheap in Nigeria.
It's made from soy milk now.
You can do it.
I made it at home.
Awara.
Is that
Tofu
awara?
awara. Maybe
No,
I'm
soy.
guessing.
Soy. Yes. It's like
soybean.
from
Soybean, so you make it into the milk and then you remove your tofu. I made it at home and it was really, really good. We can start looking at those plant-based. So they are cheaper and your children are not missing so much from the normal protein. Now, once in a while,
I think I said it.
Chicken.
I think I mentioned it here when I bought a whole pack of gizzard. So the idea was for
expensive.
gizzard is not expensive, very expensive.
Yeah.
So I bought it and I forgot to tell my help that, okay, this is for you, because I wanted to stop sausages in their noodles.
Okay.
So I stopped sausages in their noodles. I said, okay, let's replace that with gizzard. So when I said replace it with gizzard, it means that you take the gizzard, you chop it into bits. You didn't think of chopping. You carry this gizzard, put it inside the noodles, stirred it up, and took it for children's lunches.
Oh, God.
Of course they loved it. And I came and said, I want to do my stir fries. Okay, that's it. What did you use for? I'm going to school. And then after she laughed, are you all right? Like, did you cut it? Said, no. You threw it. You know how much gizzard it is? You cut it. So we have to give these instructions at home also.
And follow through.
Now, listen, you have to cut things up.
So for many people that have help, some don't. For those that have help, you need to have that conversation with them, because they don't go to the market. They don't work the way you're working. They don't understand the impact on your account balance the way you do. So
my people think it's hotel at Falabi Brown. One morning they're having this, they're just ordering for this. Oh, I don't want this. I want okay. When you
I have to take up extra jobs that normally I would have done shakara and say, I beg, I don't have power for stress. Now I don't sleep. I normally talk about my naps.
Yeah.
I take my beauty sleeps every afternoon. I've not been sleeping because from here I'm going to another job. Because I'm calculating the income that comes in. Yeah. The house is constantly expanding. We need to expand. I've told Oga, you need to start consulting again. You have left it because you're busy, and I understand what is happening right now. But you need to, so that more money is coming in. I cannot come and suffer.
Well, I've had this habit all my life. I know my budget for spending every month. If you wake me in the middle of the night, I know how much I spend on food. While I was single, I knew how my budget. When I got married and we didn't have a baby yet, I knew what my budget was. When the baby started coming, I knew it has steadily increased from 50,000 right now, where I'm going to. So I can't mention it on TV now. But I had a meeting, like, well, listen, guys, these numbers are going up. When I told Brown how much I'm spending
on food,
he was like shocked. I said, yes, it's crazy. We have to really come there, because I've heard a larger, like a double figure from somebody, a friend of mine many years ago, say, I spend this amount of money, and I'm thinking, but now I'm reaching to that point where I'm close to that figure she gave to me, and I'm thinking, I can't continue. So we stopped those box cereals. I had to stop it. I can't afford box cereals. Box cereals, I stopped it. The only thing I take is like I take the Quaker Oats. We still take the Quaker Oats and the custards. But the box cereals, I said zero.
Yes,
no more of those boxes. Because they're too expensive, because they finish in 2 seconds.
Yes.
Yeah.
Once one bowl, 2 bowls, you're done.
Let them eat proper food, Biko.
So one of the things that I also realized, because of what BC said, many people, and there's a higher rate of beggars, as in many people now reach out and they're like, oh, come and help me out financially. I need to pay rent. I cannot afford to eat. And I have realized that I don't want to fund career begging. So I do my charity to registered organizations, and I point people in the right direction that, okay, check out this organization, they give food. Check out this one, you can get, like I know my church gives food. And what I now think of is, okay, every month I'll put an extra bag of rice to whatever the church is distributing. Yeah. That way, if I send it to the church, you join the queue and get it there. Because some people are now taking advantage of, and I know how hard all of us were working, and it is still, we're just trying to manage it. So it is important that don't put your burden and expect somebody else will carry that responsibility.
Let me take this call that I come to you, Mariam. Taiwo from Yanokwaja, are you there?
Yes, I'm there. Good morning.
Yes, tell us, how are you tightening your belt in this rising costs?
My brother.
Yes, I'm a first-time caller.
Welcome to the show.
First-time callers today.
Exactly. I want to talk about the rice issue in Nigeria.
It's your view. Let it count. Go ahead, please.
Okay. Recently, the federal government opened the border. And I think I happened to speak with a friend some days ago. He told me that the price of rice from Cotonou is around 8,000 naira. But come to Nigeria, you can get a bag of rice in Nigeria around 26,000, 30,000.
The Cotonou rice, is it?
What is happening? Where is the missing link? Is there that the government cannot do anything to try to reduce the price of these products? Because in Nigeria, for everything that goes up, will never come down, and people are already suffering. A crate of egg now costs around 2,000 naira, chicken 3.5, minimum can get 3.5, and so on. Now, people are talking about elections, and I've said earlier that the government is focusing on election, and people that will move for them are really hungry, and that will tempt people to do lots of things. Even the Nigerian youth are fed up with the issue we had in Nigeria recently. Right. It's killing people. People are hungry, and you are.
So this conversation is around the cost of rice across the border in Benin Republic being very cheap. According to him, about 8,000. And then you come here, it's over 20,000. That the difference is high. And what could have caused it? Maybe duties
not the Nigerian rice
or the flogging. No, the imported rice. Imported rice. The food stuff are expensive here. And it's cheaper just across the border. I think that it's already opened.
No, is it open so that we can start importing rice? It's not open for that.
Even despite when it was closed, imported rice was still everywhere in Nigeria. So the conversation is around the duties, the levies.
That they pay.
The government can decide to waive levies on food and ensure that the prices come down. That can help.
Okay, let me just tell you why I'm insisting on that. Because if it is smuggled in rice, I mean, what duties and levies are there? So there's no legal duties or levies on that rice. Making money.
You settle plenty
So it's understandable that it will be more expensive because you are not meant to be eating that rice anyway.
Yeah. Then for the egg, the people complaining, the cost of feeding the chicken has gone really high. Remember, we're talking about wheat. The maize and the wheat has gone up. That is where the price is.
Let's take a few comments from, yes.
Yeah, so Bilkis says cooking oil is like petrol. I couldn't believe the price increase. I'm almost getting palpitations thinking of how much I would have to incur for the next month's groceries. My older children are teenagers and eat bread like snacks. I just reckon I'll be rationing their meals. Right. She says the tough times aren't limited to Nigeria alone. Things have insanely gone up here in South Africa too. Wow. Food prices are at its highest in over 15 years I've been in this country. These are indeed rough times for us all.
It's across, it's global. Yakub, are you there?
I'm there.
You're live. Go ahead, please.
And then good morning to you on the studio.
Good morning.
It is unfortunate that the government did nothing to these two issues. I know that these two is already deregulated, and then if Nigerian government, as the government, I do say this, as the government has support since 8 years ago, the promise was that the refinery will work. I know there is some cabal that will not make that happen. We are all waiting for Dangote refinery to work now. And then even the Dangote refinery works. Even the Dangote refinery works.
Going to come down.
The refinery is a trade zone area. I don't think it can bring down the cost of diesel immediately. And then the price of the rice that the last caller has already said, he said, you see, in my area, I stay in Ogun State sometimes. You see, when these people coming from Benin Republic, Morayo, this is information. I don't think I don't need to even share this information. Because if I share this information, if you know a lot of smuggling rights coming through that artist, I wonder why those people are not doing that business. How much are we going to buy the rights? Because the Nigerian rights cannot even feed in us. What is the price of Nigerian rice in the market as well? So even higher, the price of Nigerian rice is even higher than the foreign one.
Yes.
So where are we now? So the only thing that we can say, even the networking, that they want to increase this thing now. Even as it is, the network is not even good. Sometimes you call somebody, you will not have that person, and then they will deduct your money. So who is fighting for who? Who is fighting for us? So
Thank you very much, Jacob.
I want to just quickly make 2 points. The cost of Nigerian rice will not go cheap because Nigerian rice is dependent on power, and power is expensive.
And security.
And security challenges will make it go up. So maybe they should just open the border and bring in imported rice. No, the conversation is about reducing cost of living. Dangote refinery is costing about 4 trillion. We have, as a country, spent 4 trillion in the past 1 year paying subsidy. So we could have built a refinery as big as Dangote zone if we are a government seriously ready. Because we could afford it. So it's not about that. It's about political will and the focus.
Labour saying that you should carry flag, they shouldn't remove subsidy.
No. It's about, if you tell us that it's going to cost us 4 trillion, we're going to use it to pay the refinery, but they will not trust you.
Exactly.
Because they have not earned the trust.
So while I'm trying to listen, I don't like this conversation.
For our government.
I don't like this talk. You shouldn't have brought this matter to subsidy. Let's go back to tomato and pepper matter, please.
Poverty works for politicians because when people are poor, you can buy their votes cheap.
Yes.
When people are hungry, you can give them half bag of 1 derica of rice and they will vote for you. And that is where we're going to. 2023, people are hungry and they will tell you, delegates, go and queue up Egba rice. They will now give you back. They'll start sharing Egba tomato. And everybody will be voting in the direction of their stomach. And that will not bring us the development we need.
Bilky says, please, because I'm already feeling quite depressed with the conversation. She said people have to start bulk buying if it's not common practice before now. Even the ladies of your view can do this. I think
Mariah mentioned
buy your dairy, vegetables, and other groceries in bulk together. Just one of the many ways to reduce cost. It's hard to reduce the consumption for kids. So you know how we're saying we're going to ration our children's food. Truth is, it will be terrible. It will be hard. They will cry. You know, children have persistence. They will cry your ear.
They will adjust.
They will not adjust.
My son has been crying. I will just. The kitchen is closed. It's closed. Let's move on.
How is the kitchen closed?
I close my kitchen.
You lock
8 p.m. I lock it.
I don't have key in my kitchen.
She gets one.
No, but I'm saying though, the kids, they always want something. They're constantly asking, "Mommy, I want more. I want more." This is what your child is crying that they want more. You're not gonna find it. The child would want more.
Because you feed them
well. Older.
Yes, they're older.
So we're talking much younger.
They're quite big. I'm also trying to work on
reduce it. So that's your own peculiar children. My own children.
I'm begging them to eat.
Exactly.
I'm begging them to eat.
Yeah.
And honestly, the conversation needs to continue to go around creating that community. And I think it's important, everybody watching right now, to get a group of friends to buy cheaper. When you go to Okeare, you would realize how supermarkets, what you are spending in supermarkets is a whole. Supermarket, don't vex for me. It's just that in this current economy, we just need to go further. My staff were buying something in Magodo, and they were like, and so if you know how much they sell this thing in Akonwojo, I say Akonwojo and Magodo are 2 different markets.
Transportation.
So we also need to start going.
We will go to Akonwojo. Please send her to me.
Travel to the market.
I don't mind traveling.
If you have space, have your small poultry. Have, grow some.
But then there's the challenge of power.
Mariam, how do you have small poultry in your house?
Yes, you can.
So my mom was saying that we buy food in bulk and we try to freeze it. We cannot freeze it.
Sorry?
You buy food in bulk, but then it goes bad because there's no lights. So there are many ways with which this thing is, that there needs to be improvement.
You can try them, though.
Anyways, so this show today, practically, we've just been lamenting and talking about
solutions.
We're talking about how we solved our own, how we are solving our own problems.
Corners,
when I saw Nigerians are going through the same problems, please find your own way. Let us send us messages on how you're cutting your own costs and how you're reducing waste in your family. At this point, we have to wrap up the show, but I think let's take a few more messages for everyone. I think I have a caller. I have a last caller. Yinka from Abuja. Are you there?
Yes, Mariah.
You're live. Go ahead, please.
Yes, I just wanted to contribute to this rising operational cost.
Yes.
And in as much as there's food increase in food price all over the world, I think Nigeria is more burdened with insecurity problems.
Yeah.
A lot of the farmers are killed.
Yeah.
And so because of that, a lot of people are scared to even go and farm. The rise in the price of corn and dawa, all those things that are used for feeding the poultry are not being produced in large quantities again because most of the farmers are scared to even go to the farm. So that's kind of adding to the increase in price of virtually everything. So if God can just help us and our leaders on this issue of insecurity that we're having in Nigeria, I think that will also go a long way.
Thank you so much.
You get to know how bad things are when a government is talking about an achievement being trader money. Giving people 10,000 naira. How much is 10,000? Giving people 5,000 naira. Less than $2.
Depends on which land. Auntie, depends on
people are happy.
Wait,
to collect that 5,000. The government is happy to say we gave people 5,000 less than.
It depends on the lens you're using to look at that. It's based on the lens. You are in Lagos, so that doesn't sound like anything to you. You could look at somebody who's extremely poor.
Yes.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, so it depends on the lens.
Things that is seen as a big deal, and it is so important to some people that they would fight to get 5,000.
10,000.
Issues are serious, man.
Yeah. So we have a few more messages here. Mount Rushmore says Nigeria will not be the same mess with the rest of the world. We will not be in the same mess with the rest of the world if we're not importing petrol. Europe says politicians are problems of Nigeria are problems because everything belongs to them. Mount Rushmore also says we can't feed ourselves in this country. That is the plain truth. So let food just come in through the borders. My fear in that is how do we now encourage, local production? So it's because Nigeria does not have a plan. These are some of the things that we can table and we don't have a plan.
We have a plan, but we don't enforce that.
Where's the plan? What's the vision of Nigeria?
We have economic.
We have too many.
What's the plan?
We have too many plans. We just not implementing.
So why do you have a plan that you cannot implement? It's not a plan. It's a wish. It's a dream. We, the life coaches, will tell you if you have a wish and you don't itemize it, you don't plan it, you don't write it.
That is where Morale will say we the people, because in part of implementation, we the people have a part to play.
Let government start and enforce. The people too. Let them start, let them enforce, let them punish.
The Americans say, I have the American dream. They are living, they take responsibility for who they are. But we in Nigeria, we don't take responsibility. It is them, the government. We keep pointing because we never point at ourselves.
But I'm not the one making the laws now.
But the law is for us.
The law is for us to take their blame. Everybody needs to take their blame.
They have to
Don't give me government's blame.
I'm not giving you government's
my blame. They make the laws, they should enforce it. If I fail in the law, they should punish me so that next time Miriam will not try it. They should do their own, I do my own.
Yes. And then in part of the enforcing is then labor now comes like, how can you sack ghost workers? How do you know they are ghost workers? We can never, because we just, I mean,
vicious
it's got to be an English word I have to find where we just keep blaming each other. But we don't solve the problem. Both sides are pulling, one side is pulling, and we never solve the problem. We need a Lee Kuan Yew here. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now. Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, Jesus actually would.